We'll start in a minute here. Let's start here. Throat is gone actually. Okay. Let's start. What were we doing last time? What did we discuss last time?
We did value principles actually, agile value principles.
Yes. Okay. Okay. I'll do prioritizations method today because I'll do it little bit on detail, so that tomorrow, if you want to get into the product owner role, that at least your base is there. But typically, you should know prioritization method as a scrum master also, because you have to make sure that the prioritization happens in your teams. If the PO is new, then you have to guide him. If the PO is mature, then that is not a problem, but then you can work with him. But essentially, this topic, prioritization method, is a topic which POs should know more. Actually, in product owners interview, this is a make or break section, but not for Scrum Masters, but it is still important that at least you know. So I'm going to cover 4 methods, out of which 4 methods, Moscow is a method which you know, which you should know very well. Moscow. And Moscow is a method which 60-70% of the teams use it. The other method which you should know is the WSFJ method, weighted shorted job first. So that method and Moscow method, these 2 methods are the most popular method which we should know in little bit detail. There are 2 others, value versus effort matrix and Kano model. Nice to know, but not a lot of application, not a lot of people use it. Mostly people use Moscow and WSFJ. So you will also say, in your experience, you have seen that your teams have used Moscow or WSFJ. WSFJ is a method which is got a very popular in SAFE. So in SAFE, we do prioritization based on the WSFJ method. Anyways, let's start with the first method, which is Moscow. Let me share the screen. Okay. So this is Moscow. Do you know Moscow? Yes, I know Moscow. What is Moscow? Moscow is must have, should have. M stands for must have, should have, could have, won't have. What is this must have? Must have is essential for the product to meet the basic criteria, without which the product cannot exist. For example, PlayStation. PlayStation's ability to play video games, that's the must have for a PlayStation. Can a PlayStation survive without, or for example, can a application survive without a login functionality? For an e-commerce website, can it survive without payments option, payments gateway feature? So these are must have. Other, if these features are not there in the product, the product will not survive. Then should have. Should have is a very high priority feature, but it is not critical. Even if it is not there, the product will exist, but it will cause dissatisfaction. So typically, for example, see, must have is a secure, for an e-commerce platform, secure payment gateway, product search functionality. Imagine a e-commerce website that does not allow you to search for shoes or watches or shoes or whatever. Then that's a must-have feature without which you cannot survive. But customer review is not there. You can still, the website will still function. It will cause a lot of dissatisfaction. People want to see customer reviews and order, but if it is not there, at least the basic functionality would still work. So discount coupons are not there. There is another method of discounting that also is fine, but discount coupons is a very important feature. It should have, but it is not a feature without which the website alone will not work. Could have is nice to have feature. For example, I should be allowed to pay through dollars, pounds, rupees, bitcoins, whatever. It should have multiple currency support. Then won't have is it is out of the scope. For example, AI recommendations. It is out of the scope for now. Maybe at some point during the maturity of the product, AI, when we would have built 60, 70, 80% of the product, at that point, AI recommendations could become very important for a mature product. But if a product is starting out, then AI recommendations is not a won't have. So these must have, should have, could have, won't have features will change during as the product matures. Okay. So let us, but this is a very basic, this thing, must have, could have. But the tricky part is, how do you differentiate between what is a must have and what is a should have? It is a very tricky task, but thankfully product owner has to do it. We don't have to do it, but still we'll spend next 5 minutes understanding how do you decide when a feature is a must have and when do you decide when a feature is a should have. So if it is something to do with legal or security compliance issues, without which the data integrity is in question, that's a must have. Should have is system will use this function, but if it is not there, it is still the system. So the first question you have to ask is, if this feature is not there, will the system fail? If the answer is yes, it's a must have. If the answer is that the system without this also a system will work, but it will cause dissatisfaction, then it is a should have. But if we can't decide, then call the domain experts, subject matter experts. Let us take their opinion. Business owners, legal team. If it is a healthcare, call a doctor. If it is some legal product that you are building, experienced lawyers. If it is some other domain, banking domain, people with experience. So you understood, right? How do you decide what is a must have or a should have? If you can't decide, then the question you have to ask is this core functionality? Will my system survive without this? If the answer is yes, then it may be a should have. If the answer is no, then definitely it's a must have. But again, if we are confused, we can't make out, then business owners, subject matter experts, all those people, domain experts will be called up. And so let us do a little bit of, let me ask you if you can figure out. So for a healthcare system, electronic healthcare system, I'll give you a feature. You guys have to tell me whether it is. Let's do a little bit of practice. Then you'll get an understanding of it. So viewing patients' allergy history. So I am building an electronic health system where I am going to have the patient's medical history and all that stuff. So for that, for that software, viewing patient's allergy history, is this a must-have feature or a won't have or a could have?
Must have.
Why?
Must have.
Why?
Should have.
Why it is a must-have?
Because without seeing the
Huh.
patient's allergy, how provider or physician or doctor can prescribe the new
Medicine.
For a
medication?
patient system, for a patient, electronic health record of a patient, if the patient's history is not there, how will the system work? It will not survive. The software will not survive without this feature.
Without history.
Without this, it is of no use. You are building a patient's, you are building an electronic health record for patients. If the records do not have the history of patient's allergy, then how will the system? So it is necessity. Okay. Dark mode for night shift doctors.
Could
Dark
have.
mode.
Won't have.
Could have or
Or could have or won't have, maybe. In
Could
that
have.
case.
Could have.
It's a UX improvement. It's a UX improvement, but again, not a necessity. Could have. Correct. Then sending automated appointment reminders. I set an appointment online and then sending reminders that you have an appointment at 6 p.m., you have an appointment at 10 p.m., whatever. What kind of a
Should have.
should have? Why? Because if it is not there, then it is not going to break your system.
System.
But if it
yes.
is there, then it will be super helpful, at least for a lot of people. A reminder is coming on my cell phone at 4 p.m. that I have a doctor's appointment at 7. It increases my satisfaction. Okay, fine. Integration of with wearable devices, that I can use this application using my Apple Watch or something like that. How about this feature?
Could have.
सारे बोलते हैं.
Could have.
Won't have.
Won't have.
Won't.
Yeah, should not have. It will
On
survive.
the entire list. See, so this is how actually it works. It is tricky. So ideally, these things will be decided by the domain experts or the industry experts or the product owners. Though they will have data, they will have sponsors, they will do this. But we still, so how many people are going to be using wearable devices and using your application? Not a lot of customers. So it is a great feature, but maybe not now. As the market grows for this kind of device, a lot of people use it. Maybe then it could become a could have or should have. But for now, it is a won't have. See, but my question first is, we are talking about prioritizations. Why do you even need prioritizations? What is the need of prioritization? If somebody asks, what is the need of prioritization?
Time
We
to
should
market.
know. We should know
Time
which
to market
feature-
is what is the base. Sorry, please go ahead, Deepak.
No, we should know which story to build and which is
Exactly.
more important.
Which story to pick up for
Which
the
gives-
sprint goal.
Which gives more value.
to the product.
or it to decide important aspect can be delivered first or the critical features.
What is important for the product?
We have limited resources, time is limited, money is limited, people are limited. But so we want to maximize the value. Maximizing the value with limited resources, we can't do everything. So we have to find out what are the things that will give most value for the effort. Which is why we have a need for prioritization. We have unlimited features we can build, but the time, the money, the effort is limited. So we want to use our resources, time and money in a manner which gives maximum value, which is why we need to prioritize our features. We need to work on features which bring maximum value. Is this clear? This is the basic answer that you have to start with. If they ask you about prioritization, why prioritization is needed, this is the reason why we need prioritization. And you will also encounter teams where product owner is not prioritized. Then you have to explain it that, boss, we have to work on features which bring more value. Sometimes there are critical needs. For example, for a banking application, you need a tax report. Just before the tax season, if in my banking application, I cannot download my tax report, then it is a waste. Then that application is of no use to me. So similarly, for an e-commerce website, if there is a Black Friday sale coming and I can't launch my UX design properly, then it's a waste. That I will miss out on that opportunity. So there are certain features which are time critical. You need to deliver them there and then. If you don't deliver, then it is going to be bringing a lot of revenue loss or customer loss or market share loss. So then you have to align team stakeholders. For example, I need this Black Friday sale is coming. I am building a story where I'm building a lot of stories. I'm going to beautify my website. It's going to bring up all those things that are going to be required for Black Friday sale. But I have a different team that does UX design. So I have to tell them also that, boss, this event is coming. You have to have my bandwidth ready so that you can give us the UX designs then. So to align other teams and stakeholders, you need this. And of course, to improve customer satisfaction, you are going to build those features which most of your customers are going to use, which can increase their satisfaction levels. That is why you need prioritization. So these are mostly 3 or 4 methods. Now let's come back to our examples, which we did here. We did e-commerce, no? Then what else? Health. No, we did healthcare. Banking application. I am building a banking
Yes,
application.
banking. Yeah.
Feature to build a feature to view my balance. I want to build a feature which allows me to view my balance. Is what kind of a feature is this? Hmm?
Must have.
Imagine a banking application does not allow my I can't even query how much balance I have. That's a waste of a. Without this feature, can my banking application exist? No, it cannot exist. Then no, now you have to raise your hands. Otherwise, all of you will say every this thing. Biometric login. Biometric login. You can raise your hand and tell me. Raise your hand. I mean, you can. Okay. Let me see whether you've got biometric login. Is it biometric login? Yes. Who wants to? Yes, Deepak. Biometric login is?
Could have. Could have. Initially, it's a could have.
For a banking application.
Yeah, could have. We have a numeric way also.
Everybody agree with the, is it a could have?
Yes, I agree with could have.
It's must have actually.
It's security.
It's a must have actually for each.
It's must have actually. It has to be there.
But it is pin wise also we can log in, right?
I should go for should have.
It's a compliance issue, maybe. More secure banking application, we have to go with
If
more
it is a
security.
compliance issue, then it becomes a must have. But if it is not a compliance issue, you can log in through OTP or PIN or something like that, then it becomes a delighter. It is great to have this feature, so could have. But if it is a compliance thing, if your legal team says, no, it is a must have, otherwise RBI is not going to ban my app or they will not allow, then it becomes, if it is a security thing, it's a must have, otherwise it's a could have delighter. Is this?
Then when will we should have actually, sir? Should have. When will come should have? Then For example, yeah.
So
For
let
example, I want to going to log in into the this thing banking account. Okay, so 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 where actually it will come should have for example, because actually I said actually should have, that's why actually I thought actually it should have like that.
see these things have always these things have gray areas. So that is why you need industry experts or domain experts or SMEs to finalize it. There will always be a debate. So for a Scrum Master, what you, from your point of view, the key thing is that you should know that, boss, these things should, first, there is a prioritization method which is being followed by the product owner. And these things are finalized by the product owner or the subject matter experts or the domain experts. These things are not going to be decided by the developers and QAs. What is a must have or a could have is a decision which will be made by the product owner, product manager, stakeholders, people like that who are the experts, not the Scrum Master, developers, or the QAs. Is this
Okay.
okay? So, but I'm just giving you an idea of how these things are little tricky. So you should know. Okay, let's do real-time fraud alerts. I'm building real-time fraud alerts.
It should be must have.
Sure.
Can a banking application exist without real-time fraud alerts?
Must have.
So crypto wallet integration.
Could have.
Won't have.
Won't have.
Won't have. Because won't have, see, how many people are using again crypto? Not a lot. So if your current demography is such that not a lot of crypto users are there, then it's a won't have. But if your demography is 10-15% users are your crypto users, then it could become a could have.
Again, sir, actually, there is conflict, I can say. Okay, miss, I confuse actually. So should have and could have. Okay, there is confusion actually.
Yes. There are gray areas depending on the product, depending on the maturity of the product, depending on the market. Some features could become should have, some features could become could have. Basic features are very easy to navigate, but as the product grows, then it becomes very difficult what is a should have or a could have. In fact, a lot of teams, they say everything is a must have. That also is there. So point being that these prioritization discussions are happening after user journeys and by the product owners and the product management team. But again, in this case, why should crypto how can it be a should have? Let us say if crypto support is not there, crypto wallet is not there in your ICICI banking application. Will that application cease to exist? Is it still usable? Yes, it is usable, correct. So it is not a must have, definitely. Then this is clear, right? This is clear. It
Yes.
is not a must have. Then second thing, does it decrease the satisfaction of my customers by a lot? No. Maybe if you need crypto, but how many people are going to use crypto? If it is 3%, then 97% of my users are not even using crypto. So then it cannot be should have.
That,
Now, isn't it?
yeah, that means could have, right? Means
That means could
still
have. Now again, how many users are going to be there? If it is less than even 1%, then it can't be even could have. Then it won't be, it will be won't have. Won't have is some nice thing to do, but it's not needed now. It is needed in future. Then it becomes a won't have. But nice thing, it will increase the satisfaction, but we may or may not do it. That is could have. Your users want it, but you may not have the resources to do it now. That is your could have.
Okay, for example, password. Okay, password length. So I am recommending actually 8 character password, but someone is recommending 16.
Password length is not a feature here.
So
Login functionality is a feature.
uh, but
Password
in
length is
between,
a technical
yeah.
thing. It's not a
Okay,
feature.
okay.
Right. Okay, let us give one more example.
Sir, one question. Whatever client needed on urgent basis, for us, it will always must have.
Again, client reaches out to the product owner with product managers, stakeholders, they decide what is a must have, should have, or they will decide these things. If everything is must have, then nothing is must have. If everything is urgent, then nothing is urgent. There has to be a prioritization method. So in Moscow, we say the first question you are going to ask yourself is whether something is critical to the system or not. If it is critical to the system, it is the core business feature, then it is a must have. If the business will still exist or the application or software will still exist, but it will decrease the happiness of the customer, then it is a should have. If it is something which will increase the satisfaction levels or it is a great feature to have, but not a very critical one, then it is a could have. Another, if it is a delighter, it is nice to have, but the current there are not a lot of people who are going to use it, then that will be your won't have. That's a very simple explanation of these things.
Still
But
confused. Like if client is asking for something, then how pure someone will decide it can be could have.
you are thinking from no, you are thinking from a developer's point of view or a scrum master's or a QA's point of view. This prioritization method is for the product, for a product which is the must have things, should have things, or could have things.
For a product. Okay.
For a product, from a product's point of view. For example, login functionality is a must have. So if we have to put resources between login functionality or social media integration, you will put resources on login functionality first. So you will see in due course, there are other methods also which are more, which relate to numbers. Okay. Then let me go back to. Okay. Let's do the next one. Now this is value versus effort matrix. So we have a 2x2 quadrant. And again, this is something which is nice to know. If you don't know also, that will work. But again, nice to know. This is the one which you should know, WSFJ. And this I'll explain in detail. Okay, but we'll cover this first and then. So this is a value versus effort matrix. We have a 2x2 matrix where there are something called quick wins. Quick wins are features which bring high value. It increases revenue or it increases market share or whatever, but it is very low effort. Doesn't take a lot. For example, the example is a mobile app for fitness tracker. So let us say there is a bug which is there for step counter accuracy. You are taking steps, it is not accurately calculating how many steps you have taken. To fix this bug is a very low effort thing, not a much effort, maybe 2 days, 5 days, whatever. But if it is done, it brings great value. Imagine a fitness app which is not counting your steps correctly. So it is a great dissatisfaction. So if it is there, then it brings a very high value, but the effort is very low. So this is a quick win. We will prioritize this first. We will do these kind of features or stories first. Then big bets. It brings lot of value, but it is lot of effort also. For example, for a fitness tracker app, AI powered meal planner. So based on my weight, based on height, it can recommend me what is the meal I can have, what are my different options for lunch, dinner, breakfast, like that. It's a great thing to have for a fitness tracker application, but it will involve a lot of effort also. Are we going to do it? Maybe, but it requires strategic planning. Then low hanging fruit, low value, low effort. The icon of the application, update of that. It doesn't make a huge difference to my application what icon it is, but it does not even take a lot of effort to do it. Maybe if the resources are available at the last minute in the release, we can probably do it. So easy thing to do, but again, doesn't bring a lot of value. Then low value, high effort. Features which are, somebody says, let's go for a VR workout feature. Again, not a lot of people are going to use virtual reality. It's a technology which has not picked up. So because not a lot of my customers are going to use it, it is not going to bring a lot of value to my application. But to build this feature, it is going to be a huge effort. So again, this needs to be deprioritized. So we have 2x2 quadrant. On the left hand side up is the quick wins. These are the things which we definitely going to do. Then big bets are something we have to plan and do, because both of these things bring high value. Low hanging fruit, we may do it at the end if time permits. Time sinks, never going to do it. These things require a lot of effort and does not bring any value. If feature are of that sort, we are not going to do it. So in your interviews, if you can tell them 4 methods, you are showing off that you know multiple methods, you'll be better off. But in reality, you will say that you have used Moscow and you have used WSFJ. Moscow is a very popular method. It's a simple method. You don't need a lot of data. You just need domain experts or subject matter experts. They can categorize must have, should have. So your must have feature becomes your critical stories. Your should have feature becomes your high priority stories. Your could have feature becomes your medium priority stories. Your won't have feature becomes your lowest priority stories. Or even you can even skip those, or they become lowest priority stories. So Moscow you have done in real life, where stakeholders and product owners, product managers, they have prioritized the features, and you have translated must have, should have, could have, and won't have into priorities in Jira. Must have is your highest priority, should have is your high priority, could have is your medium priority, won't have is your low priority. This you need to know 100%. Must have, could have, should have, won't have is good. But how does it impact Scrum Master? It impacts Scrum Master because you have to map your priorities in Jira. So M becomes highest, S becomes high, C becomes M, and won't have, W becomes your low priority. Is this clear to you? So which means must have features are your highest priority stories, which you are definitely going to do first. You are going to pick them up first. Then should have becomes your high priority stories. Could have becomes your medium priority stories. And won't have is, if at the end you have some time for the release and you still have time, you can pick up those won't have options. Is this clear to all of you? For a Scrum Master, this mapping is important. Whether if everything, so in Jira, if everything is medium priority, by default it is medium priority, then neither the PO nor the Scrum Master are doing their job properly. PO has to tell which stories are must have, which stories are could have, which stories are won't have, and SM has to make sure those are reflected properly in Jira. and it is the highest and high priority stories which we will target first in the release cycles. How do you do that? That we'll discuss when we do the release management. Is this clear to all of us? Kiran, don't be sad here. No? Is this clear? So as a Scrum Master, I know Moscow, my stakeholders, my product owners, my product managers, they do this Moscow method. And once the stories are prioritized, then I make sure that in Jira, it is reflected properly. That's all. So Dipta, you had raised your hands and then I forgot about it. Sorry. You had a
No,
question.
I was about to answer those methods, one of the questions. Yeah.
Next one you can answer here. Sorry. Okay. Then comes the Kano model. Kano model, again, it basically it's gaining popularity these days, but enough to know. So again, we categorize features into 4 categories: basic needs, performance needs, delighters, and indifferent. Basic needs are your must-have features. If they are not there, for example, SaaS platform, basically Jira. For a Jira, ability to save and load projects or multi-user collaboration is a basic thing. Imagine a Jira where I can't assign stories or I can't assign bugs or I can't share things. What is, if it is not multi-user collaboration, then that will fail basically. So then performance needs, it drives satisfaction like real-time notification. There is an update to the story. I get a alert on the email. These are again great features. If the real-time notifications are not working, then it is not going to stop me from using Jira, but it is going to decrease my satisfaction. So same thing, your basic needs are your must-have, your performance need are your should-have. Anything which you need to improve the performance is your performance needs or basically should-have. Basic needs are your must-have. Delighters are your could-have. Unexpected features, for example, AI prioritizing the task or AI based on the stories which we have picked up, AI recommending sprint goals. Oh, wow, nice. So it's a wow factor there. Delighters are your wow factor. It increases, the customers are not expecting it, but if they find this feature, it is really a delightful or a wow factor for them. So, but between a wow factor and a basic need, if you have to trade off, you will always do a basic need. Wow factor is great, but only if your basic needs are met. It is like if you don't have food, are you going to go out for a 5-star meal? No. You will first look after your basic meals. So indifferent. Indifferent means random background themes for an application. Who cares about them? The customers are indifferent to them. So there are a lot of features where customers don't care about it. So those becomes your indifferent category. So basic needs, performance needs, delighters, and indifferent. So this is your Kano model. So value versus effort matrix, how much effort you are putting in, how much value you are getting out of it. So that was your previous method where you compared the value versus effort. So you had quick wins, big bets, low hanging fruit, and time sinks. So quick wins are your, if they ask you, you can give this brief explanation. So I know this method. Quick wins are high value items, but for example, you can give examples also. So now let's come to this method here, which is which is gaining the most popularity, and a lot of people use it in real life. And this is a method which they use especially in SAFe. So I'll give you an example or what happened to this here. What is this here? One second. So weighted shorted job first, it looks very tedious, but it's not very. So it uses a formula. The formula is, I think there is, instead of equal to, there should be a division sign. I'll change it. So basically, weighted shorted job first is a score. So for all the competing features, we find a score. How do you find that score? You have two things. One is cost of delay, the other is job size. You first find out what is cost of delay, then you find out job size. You divide these two things, and whatever is your score is the WSFJ score for that feature. For every feature, you find a weighted shorted job first WSFJ score for each feature, and then see which features have the most score, and those features will get picked up first. But how do you calculate this cost of delay? Let's understand. So there are three things here: business value, time criticality, and risk reduction. This needs an explanation. So there is something called cost of delay. Cost of delay is, if we do not build this feature now, then what is the cost or the price the business has to pay? Will there be a decrease in revenue? Will there be an increase in cost? Will there be a decrease in user base? Will there be a decrease in customer satisfaction? Will there be a financial penalty? Will there be a legal issue if we don't do this? Will we miss out some opportunity? So those are the things that we find out in cost of delay. Let me give you some examples, and then let's find out more on this. Cano is clear, right? I'll go back to Cano is fine. Then value versus effort is also fine. Moscow is also fine. Moscow, please remember Moscow. How do we do it? There are gray areas in could have, should have, must have. So how do you differentiate between that? Whatever is your basic needs becomes your must have. Whatever is your performance needs becomes your
Should have.
Could have.
Whatever are your delighters or wow factors becomes
Could
your
have. Could have.
Okay, now we have gone to what you called weighted shorted job first. This is a method which calculates the score of each feature. Weighted shorted job first is a method which is a prioritization method which is used in SAFE. This method calculates a score for each feature. How does it calculate a score? It calculates a score based on 4 different factors. So what are those factors? Those factors are business value, time criticality, risk reduction. What is, let me give you a few examples. So business value of a feature is how important this feature is, and all of these calculations are based on 1 to 10. So we will pick up a feature A, and then the product owner or the product manager will assess on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 is the highest, 1 is the lowest. So for example, for a healthcare application, online test report, you are building a feature where online you can see your blood test reports. You are going to build this feature. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much will it be valuable?
10.
10.
10 or 9. Why?
10 or
Because
9.
it is going to be a very great thing. Will a online healthcare application work if you can't see the reports online? It will not work. So it will bring great business value. It is very valuable. It will increase customer satisfaction. It will have a great impact on the user. It will increase the market share. It will increase the revenue. It is great. If it is not there, then customers will run away from this application. So on a scale of 1 to 10, this is somewhere 9 or 10, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Dark mode, how much value will that bring? Between 1 and 10?
1.
Maybe 2, maybe
2,
3.
3 max.
2, 3, 1, but very low value. So in what are we finding out? We are finding out for every feature how much business value they can bring. And we are taking a scale of 1 to 10. If something is very valuable, we say 9 or 10. If something is not so valuable, we say 1, 2, 3. Something like that. For a banking application, account balance updates. If I withdraw or I put my money in, instant account balance update. This
10.
feature,
10.
how,
10.
not even a 9, it has to be a 10. Birthday reminders. Bank is sending me happy birthday, Joey. You have a birthday.
1,
Three.
2,
Four.
1, 2, 4, 4.
4 or 3.
3.
3 or 4. It is nice that bank is wishing me, but it is not a big deal. So it's not going to bring a lot of value. So you got this, right? Okay. Then next is time criticality. If we don't do this feature, what happens in terms of how urgent it is? Does it reduce the value of this feature? Is there a deadline? Is there going to be a big loss in revenue? Again, healthcare application, I bring a COVID tracker, COVID symptom tracker feature. Let us say I don't build it for next 6 months or 1 year. By the time COVID is gone, what happens? It's a big problem, right? So for time criticality, I am building a COVID symptom tracker for a healthcare application during the COVID pandemic. How critical is this feature based on 1 to 10?
10.
Not even a 9. So it brings great this thing. If I don't do this, then I miss out on the opportunity. My customers will not use this application if the COVID tracker is not there during the pandemic. They will run to some other application. So the impact of not building this feature is so huge that it is going to bring a revenue loss or a customer dissatisfaction. So on a scale of 1 to 10, this is 10. Integration of my healthcare app with Apple Watch. How many on a scale of 1?
5, 4.
If I don't
4.
do it now, if I do it in next 6 months or after 1 year, what will happen?
Customer loss.
So 5, 4, 6, 3. It could be anything between 4, 5, 6, right? It's not a big deal. I can build it, but I can build it. So we are looking at the time criticality. If I don't build this feature now, if it is too much of a concern, it is too much of a loss, then it is 10. If it is a medium thing, then it is 4, 5, 6, anything between that. Another example. Now I'll ask Kiran this. Kiran, you can answer. Tax year ending reporting tool. I am building a tax year end reporting tool, and I am going to build it in January. If I don't build it now, then what happens?
It will impact that tax report, that means tax filing. So it is an important thing, high priority.
So which means on a scale of 1 to 10?
1 to 10, it's 10 actually. We
10 or
can't
9.
reduce also because taxing is in.
Visual theme update. I'm going to the theme is there for there are themes in the visual themes in the application. What is the time criticality of visual theme feature for a banking application on a scale of 1 to 10?
3.
That will be like 3 or 2.
3, 2 max.
Somewhere around 3 to 4, that's it. Because it doesn't make much sense or like a effort needed for that one.
Correct. No, we are not looking at the effort. We are looking at time.
That means
if I
time
don't
critical.
get a visual update now, if I build it after 1 year, what will happen? Nothing much.
It doesn't make any problem or any impact on the.
Yes. So in the first case, I was looking at the business value. How much business value? as in how much more revenue, how much more market share, how many more customers, how much reduction in cost. I was looking at that. The second factor is time criticality. If I don't build this feature, how much is the risk? Will I lose out on customers? Will there be a government penalty? Will there be a revenue loss? That is what I am looking at. Are you clear with this? So business value. The second is time criticality. Then the third is risk reduction, or what you call opportunity or risk reduction. So for example, again, continuing our data, healthcare application. In a healthcare application, let us say I have a feature, I'm building a feature called data encryption. So if I don't encrypt my data for a healthcare application, how much is my risk? Risk reduction is how much will there be a risk of my app getting redundant, or there is a technical risk or a problem or an opportunity missed. So if I do not enable data encryption, will there be a problem?
Yes, it will be 9 or 10.
9 or 10.
If I build this, will there be a reduction in risk? Yes.
Yeah.
My security will increase multifold. The risk which my application faces will decrease because my customer data is secure now, because data is encrypted. If it was a banking application, imagine data encryption. It's a 10. Because if I don't use this feature, then how much will my risk increase? Huge. A lot of people can sue me if data is not encrypted for my financial application. Is this clear? Let's take another example from ATM locator for a banking application.
8.
Yeah, 8 to
6 to
9
7.
should have.
So if ATM locator is not there, what will happen? Will it increase any risk? Will I miss out on some opportunity?
No.
So could have.
Could have.
So Sudipta, you answer it now. How much?
Uh,
On a
we-
scale of 1 to 10?
We will not miss out opportunity, but it would be good for an app.
But on a scale of 1 to 10, how much?
Okay, basic things we can do on app. Okay, then it's maybe 4, 5. No.
4, 5, 6.
Hmm.
See, this is easier to use compared to must have and could have. It's better because you have a range to play with. So 4, 5, 6 means you still, okay, I agree with that. Then for a banking application, new payment gateway. For example, and a lot of people are starting to use PhonePe. So do you want to use PhonePe as an API, PhonePe as a UPI? What is the, on a scale of 1 to 10, in terms of risk reduction, how much you would rate?
8.
8, 7,
8.
9. Because if a lot of
Should
people
have.
are going to use PhonePe, then if I don't integrate into my application, a lot of people will run away and I will lose out on the opportunity. Is this? So now you have an idea of these three things. Then there is something called, this I will explain you. One sec, let me go back. Priyanka, you are all quiet today. All good?
No, sir, I'm good. Fine.
All good, na?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So they will ask you here all this if they get into more details. Okay. So now there are two competing features. One, so this is a Ola or a Uber kind of an application that we are building. So there are two features. One feature says multi-stop rides. We have to enable multi-stop rides. The other feature is onboarding UI improvement. Customer or a driver or whosoever wants to onboard, we want to make some UI improvement in that page. So these are the two competing features. Now the decision we have to make is whether to do this feature, these stories, or these stories. So Pio says, okay, I did a WSFJ score for both of these features, and let us find out. So multi-stop ride option on a business value scale of 1 to 10, he says, lot of people are using it now. It's a great thing. It is going to bring a lot of new customers to me. My business revenue will increase. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would rate it as 8. Again, who is going to do this? The product owner or the product manager is going to use this. And they are the ones who are going to, based on the market data, market research, they will find. So they will say, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, this is 8. Time criticality is 5, because if we don't do it now, what will happen? Nothing much. It's not like if we don't build it now, the next 3 months, customers will stop using this. So time criticality is not much, but it is still there. A lot of people are going to use it, but it's not a 8 or a 9 or a 10. It is not immediate requirement. Even if we delay it for 6 months, it's not going to end our product, or it's not going to have a major cost or revenue impact. Risk reduction, will it increase a lot of risk? No, not much. Is it required by the government? No. What is the risk here? Nothing much. So it's 3. So business value is 8, time criticality is 5, risk reduction is 3. Now, job size. Job size is on a scale of 1 to 10 again. This is first 3 factors are decided by the product owner. The job size is decided by the Scrum team. They are the ones who decide how much is the effort. So let us say on a scale of 1 to 10, if they have to rate something as 9 and 10, that will be your 13 pointer or a 20 pointer. If it is UI is very difficult, DB side is very difficult, testing is a huge effort, based on that, they will say, oh, it is a 9 or a 10. This, they say 5, it is a medium effort. Something is very simple to build, they will say 1, 2, or 3. Something is medium, 4, 5, 6. Something is little tricky to build, 7, 8, 9. So they will decide. Again, these are estimates. These are, so they can say, so you can show them a feature. You can show them, okay, these are the things which we have to build. They can assess. So typically this job size will be given by the architects or the tech leads. They will assess this. So it may not trickle down to the developer level, or it may be tech leads, even developers, if they have to, then you have to, okay, for this feature, how many stories? Maybe 3 or 4 stories. Each story is a 13 pointer, or it's an Excel or a double Excel. So if they can assess based on it, it's very difficult, they will mark it as 9 or 10. It is simpler, 7 or 8, easier, 4, 5, very easy, 1 or 2. So this first 3 will be done by the product owner. This will be done by the Scrum team. Okay. So multi-stop ride, 8, 5, 13, 13, 3, 16, 16 divided by 5. WSFJ score for this feature is 3.2. Then we do this for the driver onboarding UI. The user value it brings is 6. Time criticality is 4. Risk reduction is 2. Job size, it is a only UI change, nothing much from the backend or middle layer. Very easy to test also. The job size is only 2. So 6, 4, 2, that is 12 divided by 2. WSFJ score is 6. So between the two, we will do first, we will work on this. Once this is done, then we will go to this feature. Because this feature has a higher WSFJ score then this feature. So this is how you do prioritization using the WSFJ method. These three values is the numerator, the job size is the denominator, and the resultant score is the one which tells you the value of a feature. So higher the value, higher the score, the higher the priority. The lower the value, the lower is the priority. Is this clear to all of you? So I've explained you what these three things are. I've explained you what job size is. So, and then you can. So these are the four methods that we use. Moscow is the most important one. You must know what is must have, could have, should have, won't have, and you should be able to give examples. And then you should be able to tell that Moscow means PO is doing it and I am mapping it in Jira. Must have becomes highest priority, blah, 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 all that. And then WSFJ, there are four factors: time criticality, risk reduction, business value. What is business value? What is time criticality? What is risk reduction? And what is job size? Numerator, denominator, you get values, and this is how you decide. Is this clear? So these are your prioritization methods. So apart from estimation methods, you should also know the prioritization methods. So we are covering every base. If they ask, if see some organizations may have junior POs or fresh POs, then they want a Scrum Master who is aware of these things so that he can guide the POs. So they may ask you more questions on this if that is the case. But even otherwise also you should know these methods. But again, you say you are not the expert on these things. The product owner is the expert. But you should know so that if he is not doing it, then you can raise it as a concern. Why are we not doing it? Let's do the prioritization. Because based on some prioritization method only, we have to prioritize the stories. Yes, Abhilasha.
So when this process of prioritization is done, I mean,
it
like
is up to
during
the PO and the product management team. They can, they have regular stakeholder meetings. When different stakeholders, product managers, POs, all these people meet, they will do all this effort there. But as a Scrum Master, you can ask them, what methods are you using? They will say, okay, I'm using Moscow. Based on Moscow, these are the priorities I have set for these stories. Or they can say, these are the two competing features. Or they may bring in suddenly a feature. And then they say, I did a WSFJ. This is a 9 score on that. This is a very high criticality. It will bring a lot of business value. It will reduce our risk. It's a very high score. We have to include this. Remember, in the mid-sprint change, if so, you can ask, what is the WSFJ score for? He says it's very high, it's a must-have item. So if it's a mid-sprint change, it is a must-have item. No brainer, we have to take it up. It's a mid-sprint change. Suddenly he comes up with saying, but it looks like a could have or a won't have. Okay, forget about it, boss. This is not important. So because you know these things, you will be able to handle those situations well. But if somebody is not even aware of these methods, then he will not do prioritization and the team will end up doing things that are not even required.
in every project, is it actually, because I am hearing these terms, I never heard in my project, at least in last 5 years.
Very good. So you are doing things without priority. Okay, very nice. So I have 20,000 is my salary. I can spend everything on a luxury TV. My children can go to hell. So it's like how do you prioritize your money, right? You spend whatever brings most value. Are you going to put money which does not give you anything in return? It's the same thing, right? So whatever you are going to put your resources, time and money into something which brings most value. If people are not doing it, then they are not doing agile. Okay. Is this clear to all of you? In the interview, they will ask you, do you know prioritization methods? You can explain them in detail. So I've covered it in detail. Okay. Tomorrow you want to get into a product owner role. These will be your key questions. Of course, you need more details on it, but PO role is more lucrative. So that way also it is going to help you there. Okay, so I think we can wind up.
Sir, in general, I'm
Sorry?
general question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do Scrum Masters make loads?
Yes.
No,
By
do
the
Scrum Masters make good POs?
it depends.
Because I'm feeling PO is good.
Huh?
I mean, PO is more adventurous. I'm thinking PO is more adventurous Scrum Master role.
No, they do. But can you tell me the most popular PO of the entire world? Everybody knows this guy. He's the most successful PO in the history of product management. Can you tell me who? Take a
Steve
while.
Jobs.
Steve Jobs. Absolutely correct. Steve Jobs is the most popular product owner. He was a product owner. Yeah, this guy, who's this Google guy?
Pichai, Sundar Pichai.
He started his career as a product owner. So there are a lot of very, very popular figures in the industry who started their careers as product owners. Product owner is a very this thing. He's the visionary. He builds the product. So if you are a good Scrum Master, eventually you may get interested in a particular domain. And if you work in a particular domain for 3, 4, 5 years, you will know enough. Then you can transition into that sort of role. If you know agile, you know, first is you know domain. If you know domain, then you know agile and you work on it for 3, 4, 5, 6 years, then maybe you can, if you are more interested in building products, you can switch over to that area.
So for that, any certifications like for agile?
I think there is a PO certification. Yeah. But my suggestion would be get into SM first, and then because you are going to be working with PO day in and day out. So I've been tempted a lot of times to get into that role, but no, I'm more interested in human nature and getting people to, because I think it's easy to build a product, but to get people working in a is very difficult. So that is, but again, everybody is different. You may be interested in building a product, so you can get into that.
Thanks. So tomorrow we'll be covering product owner or
No. Tomorrow we will be starting I will be sharing the scenario based questions. We will be starting with the scenario based questions because I wanted to cover this first, before getting into this. So tomorrow we will be starting with the scenario based questions. Scenario based questions are the most critical ones because it is easy to clear round one. Round one is not very difficult to clear. It is, but round 2 and round 3 are difficult. And round 2 and round 3, you will get scenario based questions. But until you understand what are prioritization method, estimation, and all those things which we have covered, you cannot answer the scenario based questions. So from tomorrow, we'll get into scenario based questions. In answering that, I will cover stakeholder management, conflict management, all those things also.
So because tomorrow I'm traveling, so I just wanted to understand, should I join it while traveling or can I view the recording?
You can join, you can
view the recording also later.
The recording also, but tomorrow we're going to be starting the scenario based things.
I'll try to join from bus actually. So I'll keep my video off and join.
No problem. No. So next 3-4 classes, I'm going to cover scenarios so much till the time you are fed up of it. Till the time you say, oh yeah, I know these answers. So don't worry. So we'll have 3-4 sessions in it. We'll cover all the scenarios because scenarios are a make or break section for the Scrum Master, because they will give you all sorts of scenarios. They will ask you all sorts of cross questions. So based on what you know now, you will be able to respond to those scenario based questions. But we'll see. I'll put you under pressure, stress, and we'll see how that go. How do you deal with an egoistic developer? How do you deal with the people, PO who is not cooperating? How do you deal with stakeholder? There are multiple stakeholder. Each person is saying, build my feature first. What are you going to do? Tell them to use WSFJ, whichever is the highest feature, whichever is the highest score. Let's do that. So imagine a situation where there are multiple stakeholders. Each person is pushing, oh, you build my feature, you build my feature. So PO is very confused and he's in a very bad shape. What are you going to tell? So you will tell PO boss, use WSFJ scores so that it's an objective method. It is a method based on numbers. People will understand something is bringing more value. We'll build that first and then later on things. So that's an answer. But until you have this understanding, you can't take that scenario on. So we'll take on various scenarios, conflicts, behavioral issues, risks. So all those things we'll cover. Okay, anything else? Can we wind up? And then I think that will be your next week also. I think it'll take 4, 5, 6 classes to do all those things. Then we'll get into story splitting. After story splitting, we will get into safe.
CI/CD. CI/CD also there, right?
Hmm?
CI/CD.
CI/CD, story splitting, CI/CD,
Okay.
then safe. Okay. Okay, then, yeah. Anything else? Let's wind up then. I hope this was.
Sir, after changing resume, I got today one call from Naukri.com first. But they said, okay, if you are immediately joiner, then only we will conduct.
You are an immediate joiner, of course.
I said, okay, I'm on this thing, notice period. Okay, but they're saying, okay, can you show me notice period?
Show them notice
But
period.
I'm in the, exist. I mean, I'm on the payroll. I'm in the company, right?
Arey,
So,
show some email, yaar. Show some email.
so I made a mistake, I think.
No,
Yeah.
they will ask
I
you.
said, I said actually I discussed with my HR and they said okay we will give you a immediate release. So she said okay I will ask my senior and let you know like that actually. But I got call today. That is.
So that's see this is how it works. Yeah. So now you will get more calls and also you will also get this thing immediate joiner. You have to say. They ask you for a email or something. Show some fake email.
Yeah,
You
right.
want to see, you want to get into interview first. You want to get that experience. Once you have that experience, once you can crack these 2, 3 interviews, then things will work out. You have a 90-day notice, right?
Yes, 3 month notice.
So you have to need that confidence to either put your papers or you need to this. See, did I tell you this lady I told you, right? A couple of weeks back, this lady, she was in my January batch. She got offer couple in after 6 months. She had 20 years of experience and 90-day notice period.
Okay.
It will take time, 2, 3, 4 months. This is not magic, yeah. It will take 2, 3, 4 months. Either you will eventually get a company who's willing to wait 60, 70 days. And a lot of these pharma companies, healthcare companies are willing to wait 60, 70 days. But either you will do that or you can put down your papers. Once you clear 3, 4 interviews, then you will have the confidence, then you can put down your papers and then find something. Those are your only 2, 3 choices. Okay. But
so 2 months notice is fine, right?
2 months notice is not fine. They will say immediate, yeah. So you have to just play with it.
Yeah.
Say you can join in 30 days, then 40, 45 days, then say yeah, 1 more week, something like that, you know.
Yeah, because they straight away actually they are rejecting. If you are immediate joiner, then only they will accept your resume. Otherwise, they said okay.
What happens is sometimes so these are idiots in the initial thing. Sometimes what happens is you are able to impress the third round people so much that they are willing to wait. That's your best bet. So
Sir,
especially for 60 days notice period, people are willing to wait 40-45 days. If you
sir,
give
in US
the
it is
answer-
only one week,
Huh?
sir. In US it is only 1 week
For
notice.
who?
US. In US it's only 1 week.
1 week or 7 days.
But my parents
Yeah.
are not American. Nah. I have Indian parents and I'm here. What to do?
No, when I was in US, people used to leave in 1 or 2 weeks. They used to just leave
There are roads
immediately.
also there. Yeah. There is, you can drink
Yeah,
coffee.
there are good roads there. Here,
We,
still.
we are such a great nation that we still have manually we are cleaning our sewers still. This is 2025. And then they tell me all the great things about this country. God damn it. Sewer nahi clear hote inse. Manually we are clearing the sewers, man. This day and age. It's sorry, don't get me started. There are a lot of things that are not, so many things are wrong here, but you have to live with it. What to do? There are good things also. I'll tell you one incident. In Switzerland, Switzerland is very clean. So I happened to go for a month or a 45-day, some work was there and conference, and also I was there for 40-45. I was damn impressed. What a country and all. You know what? If you throw a chips packet on the road or something like that, they have private detectives who are spying on you. If they can show a camera of a picture or a photo or a video of you throwing some garbage on the street, then they can put you in a court, and that court will take whatever is your current worth, 50% of that. You can Google it and search for this. They are pathetic. So there are always two sides to everything, right? So a lot of things is this country is great also. For example, you will never feel lonely. Anybody and everybody can talk to you. You go to office, you start talking to anybody, everybody will talk. No problem. So in Sweden of 70s and 80s, it was a utopian society because government provided you job, government provided you color TV, car, unemployment allowance, everything that a human being can look forward to, everything was free in Sweden of 1780s. Yet it had the highest suicide rates ever recorded in a society. So if you have everything you want, then you say, why do you want to even live? So there's always two sides. So there are a lot of bad things in this country, but it's still a fun country to live in. So that way. Okay, I think we can wind up for today. But this, see, why I am covering all these things in detail is because you can reach second and third round and impress these people enough so that they are willing to give you 40, 45, 50 days. Okay. So sometimes they give you 60, 70 days also. But out of 20 companies, only 1 or 2 will be like that. But next time, PC sir, don't join this 90-day period company, okay?
Yeah, but all IT companies are that duration only, right? 3 month notice period.
No, see,
When we joined that time, we are accepting, right? Because we don't need job. That's why.
no, see, Altia is a good brand, so people will be willing to wait here. If not everybody is willing to wait, but you will find something.
Hope so.
That's how.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you need to have patience, but you will, 100%. Okay, yaar, let's bye. Take care. See you tomorrow, guys.
Bye, sir. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye. Good night.